Hi, I'm Sarah Aviva, and you may have seen me on episodes and TV shows such as Lucifer, iZombie, Supernatural, Unreal, Ice, Aftermath, ... You can see it all on IMDb, and you are listening to Kneel Before Pod.
Kneel Before Blog presents Kneel Before Pod.
Hi, and welcome to Kneel Before Blog special Christmas podcast. Ah, the crowd go wild. So we've got 6 people. Thank you. Right. Thanks. So we've got 6 people participating in this Christmas special podcast brought to you live. That's not true. And we'll each put forward our favourite ever Christmas movie. Although I don't.
Or one that we like in my case.
What?
or one that I like.
No, it's your favourite.
It's your favourite. You have to defend it.
I'll defend it.
Yeah.
You're stuck with it now.
Yeah, I'm stuck with mine. Although I do really like it, and I'll tell you why a little bit later on. So, Craig, over to you.
Hello, guys. Thank you for being here on this most joyous of times. It's currently 12 days till Christmas, essentially. So we're recording a podcast about Christmas. So, as Natalie said, we're going to take 6 Christmas movies that are our favourites / ones that we like, and we're going to make a case for why they're good. And then at the end, there will be an independent adjudicator who tallied up some scores, but that's something for later. You know, just to find out who the audience, in inverted commas, thought was the best.
Yeah,
overall.
I think I changed my score already, and I think it's too late.
Well, it's recorded now. It's done. It's like voting the day after an election. You can't do it.
No, I've got regret.
That's it. No backsies.
No takesies backs.
Okay,
Fine.
so we have 6 people, 6 movies, and I will introduce everyone in turn. So first up is Angus. Hello, Angus.
Ooh.
Feliz Navidad.
Hey.
Navidad.
Natalie, whose voice you've already heard, introducing us for this evening. It was her idea to do this, so well done.
Hello. Sorry in advance. Also, are we to say what our movie is? Because mine's is the
No,
Grinch.
not yet. No.
Too late.
Why have I not to say it?
Because it'll be part of an introduction to the movie.
Well, this is the introduction. My movie is the original animated Grinch.
Well, let's park that for now.
And the gods of editing have just chopped you out as if it never
Or
happened.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas is the technical title.
So we're here with 5 people on this podcast. Next up, he puts the Chris in Christmas. It's Chris.
Oh. Hello.
Wow, the enthusiasm. It's radiating. Up next, you may have heard him making dinner, dropping stuff, opening doors in the background in previous podcasts. Now he's here to talk. Hello, Isaac.
Hello, I live with Craig.
Okay, you're already my favourite.
That's my canon, my canon introduction. That's all you need to know. I live with him, I put up with him, and now I'm pulled into his weird world of talking online about film.
That's it. Putting up with me is his superpower. There we go. Yeah. He also draws comics, and I'll put a link in the show notes.
Yeah.
Shameless plug.
We're all
Check them out, they're very good.
Plug.
I'll ring the gong. Sound the gong. Shameless plug alert. And last, but not by no means least, it's something that the Northern Hemisphere doesn't spend a lot of time on. Sandy.
Hello.
As in sandy beaches. Yeah.
Oh, I think I meant Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
Lovely on a Sunday morning.
And we're singing already. So,
Craig, are you going to introduce yourself?
Who are you?
Who's
I'm
he?
Craig. I was already introduced. I'm Craig. I'm kind of not your
The
host
man who
this
needs no introduction.
week. I need no introduction. Should not
We'll
be
have his
introduced.
introduction talked over.
So yeah, I'm here. I'm here, and I'm here. Cool. So, what we have is 6 movies, as we've explained, and we're going to let the gods of randomness decide who goes first. So whoever goes first has to tell us what their movie is.
I don't want to
even if
go
they've already
first. I'm
told
really
us.
scared.
Well, tough. So in front of me, I've got a list, and I'm just going to assign you a number based on the list that I've got in front of me, which is the list you're all logged in on the TeamSpeak server. So I'll be number 1, Angus number 2, Natalie 3, Chris 4, Isaac 5, Sandy 6. Okay with that?
Yeah.
The numbers do not reflect my opinion of you.
Woohoo! What? Mate, everyone knows I'm at the bottom of my list, so...
Well, you're going to be cut out of this entirely. You'll be like a deleted character from a film. It's... So, 1 through 6. I'm going to roll the virtual dice and see who goes first.
The virtual dice.
Ooh, so we're up for number 4, which is Chris. Chris is up first.
Yes!
No pressure then.
No pressure.
Okay, well, for my choice, I am going back to the year 1992. 25 years, almost bob on 25 years from when we record this podcast. And my chosen film is The Muppets Christmas Carol.
Yay!
Yay.
Legit, my actual
Strange
favourite.
satellite delay between here and there, but the audience loves it. Excellent. So the reason I've chosen The Muppets Christmas Carol is because it is... A Christmas Carol itself is one of those quintessential Christmas tales, and it's got added Muppets. What more could you ask for?
Well, that's the entire argument, fair enough.
That is the entire argument, essentially. You get to see a weird, put-together piece of fuzzy felt performing with the Muppets. How good is that? You know,
The weird fuzzy felt Michael Caine.
Potentially. So, you said that, I didn't. But... So, you know...
I'd love it if Michael Caine was listening to this. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna try a random podcast." He's like, "Oh, maybe I'll share this on Twitter and get a million." Oh no, never mind. Clicked off. Done.
I love fuzzy felt, so it's all positive from me.
Yeah, well, there's absolutely nothing wrong with Muppets Christmas Carol.
No, it's one of the better versions of A Christmas Carol. Not just because it's Kermit the Frog in it, but I think the attention to detail and the design of the buildings, the miniature work is Michael Caine's performance is excellent. Kermit the Frog outdid himself.
Slapstick comedy.
Chris, what do you think?
I love it. It's got cheesy musical numbers. It has got Kermit the Frog. It has got one of the cutest sort of little stories that run through it. It's kind of a perfect Christmas tale in a way, and it kind of takes out some of the brutalness of A Christmas Carol and makes it more family friendly. I don't think it's Christmas without seeing this film.
That's so true.
Yeah, and the Ghost of Christmas Future thing, that's like really, really well done. I love the way it just ages until death. That's really cool.
It's pretty scary, even for kids.
Actually, yeah, that part used to freak me out. Do you know when they're in the cemetery and then like death is with them and he's just like a faceless figure? I was always like, man, that is so creeps.
Tell you what, I used to entertain my 2 younger siblings by converting my room into a little mini cinema for them, and that's the film they always wanted to watch.
It was really annoying when it was in June, though.
Yes, but it kept them quiet for a while.
It was so good that they wanted to watch it all year round.
Everyone knows that like Muppet Christmas Carol is the December viewing. Muppet Treasure Island is the June-July viewing. Why were they not watching that?
Well, we didn't have it.
Aww.
Should have got yourself down to the video shop and
Wow.
Yeah, Global Videos. They would have had it.
That's going back a bit. No, the only video rental place in the village was a dark and dank place which you just didn't want to go into.
Oh,
Sounds like
sounds
every
like my
video
place.
rental store.
and it smells like socks for some reason. Always smells like
Yes.
Clean ones.
No. Ones that you've just taken off after a week of hiking.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Can anyone even smell after a week of hiking?
But yeah, Christmas Carol, Muppets Christmas Carol, excellent choice, and I do enjoy it. I haven't watched it yet this year, but there's 12 days left, so I will get around to it.
We're watching it right now, and Gus said that we had to mute it, and I'm really upset because now they're doing like a big massive musical number with my favourite redhead, and I can't hear it.
Well,
so I'm really sad.
I didn't want to admit that we were watching it because that would, kind of put over that we are supporting Chris's argument, and
I am.
I'm in it.
Yeah, I have the feeling I can count on your vote, which is excellent. I kind of
It's
feel
the man-
guilty starting with this one.
It's the man who says, "Come in and know me better, man." He's like the best.
The Ghost of
He's
Christmas
so
Present.
jolly.
For
Yeah.
Christmas present.
Yeah, I like him. He's like, he's my favourite.
Yeah. So,
got
Chris,
one of-
are you a Muppets fan in general, or just this one?
No, I do quite like the Muppets, actually. There's all different bits and pieces that have been quite good. There's the recent one with Ricky Gervais I wasn't a particular big fan of, but the one before that was pretty good with Jason Segel in it, yeah. Yeah, quite like that, because Life's a Happy Song gets stuck in your head, a bit like some of the tunes in this one, you know. It's one of those ones where you watch it and you go, I shouldn't like this song, but I totally do. So yeah, big fan of the Muppets, big fan of the sort of Henson's thing. If you ever get the chance to see the improvised Muppet show, I know I'm going kind of off topic here, but there's a thing called Puppet Up, which appears occasionally at the Edinburgh Fringe, and that is well worth going along to see, because it's all improvised Muppet shows and sketches from the Muppets back
Is it
catalogue
actually the
done
Muppets?
live in front of you. It's not the actual Muppets, but it's things from the Muppet Show, so the Henson Puppet Company. So they do improvised sketches, so they've got the actual Muppeteers on stage in front of you, and then they've got a camera. They've got a camera in front of them, and then you can see it on two big screens in the background, so you can see what you would see on the TV. Behind them, and in front of you can see all the work that actually goes into making the performance. So definitely worth getting to see if you have the chance.
That sounds really cool.
There we go. A little
If you
bit
like
of
Muppets.
pseudo sponsorship.
Today's programme was brought to you by...
So I think we're off to a nice and positive start. You know, everyone likes it. It's all up in the air as to who will win, because we don't know what the other 4 entries are.
Yeah, no clue.
Yeah, cool. Well, we all know, but no one knows. The audience don't know. So, shall we move on to our next advocate?
Yes.
I will move on. Time to throw the virtual dice. Number 6, Sandy.
Oh, excellent. Right, mine comes from 1990 and has what at the time was my doppelganger, because we looked identical to each other at that time. It's Home Alone, and with the famous Macaulay Culkin.
1990.
1990. Yes,
Oh,
yes, we're old. We are officially old.
Oh, that's your girlfriend.
No, we're not old. We can't be old.
Yeah, Macaulay
Sorry,
Culkin
guys.
is... I'm a couple of months older than Macaulay Culkin, but at that time we looked identical, so much so I got a ribbing at school.
Ew.
It sounds like we're about to get into some deeply traumatic memories here.
Yeah, that
No,
sounds
no,
a bit...
no. I kind of brushed it off.
It's all right. Sandy got his own back by setting several traps for the bullies, essentially electrocuting them and almost killing several children.
Yes.
So it was fine.
My
faces were
my
paint
favourite
canned.
was the paint cans. Got them every single time going up the stairs. I just waited for the school bell to go, and I just let rip with the paint cans. Yeah. But well, what's not to like about Home Alone? You know, you've got the famous child star who arguably is pretty good for being a child actor. You've got Joe Pesci, absolute classic.
Try not to swear.
With Daniel Stern, Stern. How I don't know how you really pronounce that, but meh. And brilliant setting. I mean, it's everybody's nightmare, really. Everybody going on holiday and you getting left behind.
No, it's not. It's a dream come true.
Well, not when you're 10 years old.
Kevin had a
definitely a dream
great
come true.
time for a few days. He was only alone for like a day. So
You got
Yeah,
to
it
eat all
wasn't
the pizza
really
you
alone.
wanted.
Yeah, you got
ice
to order
cream for
loads of
breakfast.
pizza. You got to just jump around all the beds and party. You got to be responsible and buy toothpaste and
Wreck Buzz's room.
wreck Buzz's room,
Steal a
his
toothbrush.
money, and become friends with the neighbour. That was a creep, but actually not a creep because he's actually the star of the whole entire movie. He's the best.
Indeed. And he's the saviour at the end as well. Comes to his rescue.
He's the hero.
Little bit of trivia. When Joe Pesci puts Macaulay Culkin's finger in his mouth to say, I'm gonna bite it off. to exact revenge for the House of Horrors that they were dragged through. He actually did bite down, and Macaulay Culkin apparently has a scar from it.
Wow. He'd be arrested for that now.
He bit just a little bit too hard. But Macaulay Culkin was the consummate professional at the time and just got on with it.
What a guy.
What a guy.
That's gross.
But then you've got the music as well by John Williams, with I can't remember what the main theme that you hear going all the way through, which is choral and also orchestral. It's just a wonderful, wonderful film.
Oh, we love the music from that.
Yeah, it's good. Good tune.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Home Alone. It's really good fun. I also like all the deconstructions that people come up with later about the injuries that the criminals would have actually sustained and how sadistic.
Especially for part 2, when they're in New York, because you're like, that guy would be dead with those bricks.
Well, they'd have been dead in the first one. I mean,
definitely. I mean, the funniest for me. I know this sounds a bit sadistic, but the funniest injury for me is when Daniel Stern's character is going up the stairs that Macaulay Culkin's tarred up. So you see him. He's lost his shoes. Now he's losing his last sock, and then he stands on a nail. And then he just does that sustained scream as he just gently rocks backwards and falls down.
When he falls down the stairs, it's brilliant.
Watched it earlier on today just to remind myself of it, and I still laugh at it.
I think his slapstick performance makes the whole movie for me. It's amazing.
He's the best.
It surely has to get to a point where they're like, right, okay, we're giving up now. This is not worth it.
Normal burglars wouldn't. I was just thinking that as well. Honestly, 'cause I was watching it and I'm saying, what would Craig say about this? And he says, yeah, normal burglars would go, you know what? We've already burgled the other houses. To heck with this place. We're off.
Yeah, these guys aren't normal burglars. They're the wet bandits.
They're the wet bandits.
Sticky bandits, the wet
or
bandits.
The sticky bandits in number.
Yeah.
In Home Alone 2 would come a second for me.
Because it's also brilliant.
It's brilliant, but it's not as good as the original.
Oh,
but it's
Tim
still
Curry.
Funny. It's
Guest
so
starring
funny.
President Trump.
Oh, Tim Curry. Tim Curry and the wobbling lip at the end there. Oh, that is hilarious.
Get down on your knees and tell me you're sorry.
Oh, I love you.
I also like the bit where Daniel Stern's character gets electrocuted.
And you can see his skeleton.
And he's when he's recovering, it's like Harry. It's funny as hell.
It's probably the closest you can get to a live action Looney Tunes cartoon. Certainly the burglaring scene.
I mean,
sequence.
It's pretty vicious. He sets Joe Pesci's head on fire, and burns an M into his hand. So it's actually quite vicious. And actually, if you think about it, he'd probably get done for GBH or something like that.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
He terrorizes the little Nero's Pizza guy as well.
That is also hilarious. But it all adds to the film. You see past the slapstickness, and it's just great.
Gun control in America, though, eh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But also, I'm amazed that Kevin manages to tidy the whole house in the space of a few hours.
It's not
except Buzzy's room.
It's not him that does it. It's the old man that does it for him.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, the old man's hanging out with his fam.
Yeah, no, that's afterwards. That's after the fact.
He just takes his snow shovel in there and scoops everything up.
No, it's. I think it's implied that the old man helps him out.
I thought he did it himself, and that was him learning great responsibility.
Except Buzzy's room.
Except Buzz's room.
Well, why would you tidy your sibling's room? You'd be like, nah, they can do it themselves.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I would do exactly the same thing. I will admit that the standing on the nail scene inspired me to booby trap my room against my younger brother, who would always go down and wreck it. And I would always get a row from my mum because my room was always a mess. But I'd been away all day, come home, and it's a wreck, and she sees it, and then I get the blame for it. So I decided to booby trap my room with cocktail sticks and Play-Doh.
That's very sadistic.
And it worked. My brother stood on it because no shoes were allowed in the house, so he stood on it, got a row, and my mum went, "Don't do it again," but also told my brother, "And don't go into his room. That's a warning." And I knew my brother would be too clever to go down the stairs in the same way. He would hug the wall. So where did I put the sticks the next time? Against the wall. And he stood on them again.
That's kind of scary, I have to say.
I feel like this was like a long plan. Like the actual plan was just destroy his feet so that he's wheelchair bound and he can't get upstairs to destroy your room anyway.
Actually, I don't know if this is going to sound very, very strange, but my room was in the cellar.
Oh, well. Yeah.
It sounds strange, but we were in Europe at the time, in Germany, and the cellar was a perfectly habitable place. It had carpeting, it had heating, and such like.
Until it was booby-trapped.
Until I booby-trapped it, yes.
Did it have a scary furnace that roared at you?
Actually, there was a furnace in the other room which would make noises every now and then.
Yeah. So what you're saying is you are Macaulay Culkin.
I suppose you could say
Look
that.
like him? Check. Scary furnace? Check.
Well, he did
booby-trapped your house? Check.
He did kind of disappear for a while.
That's where he is. He's on this podcast. Wow. Mystery solved.
Mr. Culkin, it's an honour.
I've got to say, it's another one of those Christmas films as well that manages to get like a couple of really good Christmas tracks. And, you know, you've got Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, you've got Run, Rudolph, Run, Chuck Berry, stuff like that. And it's one that's got a wee little Christmas soundtrack.
And it was recently also parodied on Family Guy. Brian is... it's Family Guy. Brian is doing the peeping Tom thing, so he's got binoculars and he's looking at the block of flats across from him, and at one point you see the view of the binoculars pan right, and then you see curtained windows with backlighting and an obvious cardboard cutout of someone moving along, and it's in exactly the same shape as the one in the film. And it's using exactly the same Rocking Around the Christmas Tree track. And then Brian goes, "Yep, definitely people home there," and then moves on.
Wow. Family Guy parodying something that everyone's seen.
Yes.
Yeah, the thing about Home Alone is, like, a lot of people remember it for the carnage that happens in the last half hour or so.
Yeah.
But there is actually a really heartfelt and sweet story that happens before that point. And, you know, it's about 2 hours long, so there is a story there. And I do think it's pretty good throughout. You know, it builds itself very well.
Yeah, I like how he encourages the old man. I can't remember his character's name now. Old man
Marley.
Old man Marley. That's him. He encourages him to speak to his son, who he has not spoken to for years. And this guy also teaches him not to be scared.
Yeah.
So it's
good stuff.
It's a nice little film. It's got everything, something for the adults, something for the kids. It's just an all-round good film.
And one of the most brutal films ever made.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good choice. Does anyone else have anything else to chime in, or shall we go back to the gods of randomness?
Just one more thing. My mum, who I know always listens to these podcasts, absolutely hates Home Alone, which makes me love it all the more. Sorry, Matt.
Does your mum listen to you?
Yeah.
Does she actually?
Yeah, I remember when I admitted to seeing Alien at too young an age, she texted me and was like, "What were you doing watching Alien at that time?"
Mum will always be mum.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, yeah, hello, Angus's mum.
Hi,
sorry,
Sandra.
Sorry we're talking about Home Alone, but we love it.
Thanks for giving us listens, or views, however you want to say.
Yeah, thanks, readers. So, gods of randomness, shall we pick our next victim? Number 4, which is Isaac.
Hey. So
No, 4 was Chris.
No, you said my name
Chris.
now. You said my name now. I want my moment.
The next number was 5 anyway, so there you go. Isaac.
Excellent. So my Christmas film is Gremlins, which I actually looked at the date before. It came out in the past. So it's sort of not right now or today.
1984.
Yeah.
1984.
It's an old film, but Good.
Yeah,
It's older than me.
it's older than There's this pre-Craig film.
It's pre me as well.
It's pre all of us. It's pre all of us probably, but it's great.
I was 4 years
Except
old.
Macaulay Culkin.
Except for Macaulay Culkin.
I was
Yeah.
4 years old at the time. Yes.
Okie doke. So
googled
almost
it.
pre all of us. Anyway, yeah. So Gremlins were a Christmas film. It's got all the sort of Christmas highlights, like there's like an animal in a too small of a box, and
What?
Gizmo's clearly in like exactly a tiny little,
Oh.
a little like sort of the little wooden box thing.
That's
There's-
a Christmas highlight. What was going on in your family at home?
Everyone gets the standard traditional animal in a small box. That's a Blackpool tradition. You find it, just put it in a small box. That's it. It's like that
Air
origin
holes
is-
or no air holes?
Depends if you like them or not.
Yeah, so it depends how angrily you rip the paper open. Really,
Depends if you're planning to eat it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, cool.
There's a harrowing story about someone's dad dressing up as Father Christmas and then breaking their neck in a chimney.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, people have
Oh my
done
God,
that.
how does this read?
Yeah. Actually,
Unexpected dark turn, yes.
is it
Indeed.
are any of our Christmas films not featuring either near death, suggested death, or someone dying? Because Home Alone is very fatal.
Yeah, and you have
There's
basically a
Tiny Tim
graveyard
is
in our
ill.
one. Yeah, Tiny Tim
And
dies.
you got,
Yeah.
got the ghosts as well, like ghosts of thingy. So
Wait, Tiny Tim doesn't die in the Muppets version though.
Well,
He does when he goes to the future.
Yeah, but that's in the future. But he doesn't actually die. Like
No,
you
but
see, Michael Caine's grave too.
He dies and then he's saved.
yeah, but there's like the Scrooge's grave and spoilers. And
That's
there's like the
the
ghosts.
Spoilers for A Christmas Carol, everyone.
Spoilers for Christmas Carol.
Mate, there are some people who will discover this movie this year, and it will be amazing for them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There
I'm
are
excited
some
for
people
them.
who haven't seen Gremlins even.
Yeah, but they have heard this. They've heard this podcast before. Hearing of Christmas Carol. So we'll forget Charles Dickens, forget him. We'll go to podcast first. Classic Christmas stories later.
Well, obviously, that is the correct way to do it.
That's the aim. That's once we get past that banner, that milestone, and we beat Charles Dickens as like the But again, no, I've not heard his podcast, so let's listen to his. What else happens in Gremlins? Well, it's got critters. There's a toy shop. It's all havoc and mayhem, and essentially it's like if anybody's had like any family like that's either got like brothers or sisters or cousins where it's just a havoc. Well, like so any sort of Christmas house where there's new things, people are just throwing gadgets around. There's bits of Lego and garbage everywhere, and like arguing and shouting and stress. And
Don't forget the melting gremlins.
there's a melting gremlin.
And there is the 3 rules of owning a mogwai.
Yeah, so never feed
Don't
it
eat-
after midnight.
Oh,
Or put it in
sorry.
water. And there's probably another one. What's the third
No
one?
sunlight.
Oh yeah, no sunlight, no bright light.
They're not allowed sunlight.
Well,
Nope.
bright lights in general.
Yeah, bright lights kill them.
Aww.
They'd be
It's a
fine
similar
here in
route.
Scotland.
Yeah, real hurts.
It's almost like IT professionals.
Oh no, they only eat food after midnight. That's a big difference.
Oh yeah, only feed them after midnight.
Only feed them after midnight.
And no water, just coffee. Plain coffee.
Or energy drinks.
Yeah.
Or energy drinks.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Gremlins. Gizmo, I love Gizmo. I've always liked Gizmo. And, yeah. And I don't understand why all his children are evil. That's never explained. They just are.
Yeah. Maybe he's got some dark secrets and he just kept them hidden away.
Well, they've all got slightly different characters, but they follow the one evil one, Stripe. They follow him.
Yeah.
But they've all got slightly different characters. I mean, one of them he's just kooky, and the other one that the teacher has seems to be fairly okay, almost like Gizmo. But
Did they not all like emerge from his back? Because that used to creep me out so much.
Oh yeah, there's a terrifying scene there's a terrifying scene when Stripe jumps in the swimming pool and like all the lights go weird. And like you can see the bubbles on like his like hairless back, and it's just like and all of like it starts foaming up in the swimming pool. Yeah. Obviously, the characters like in Gremlins 2 when you have like really different Gremlins. So that's another good thing about this. It's a Christmas movie with a non-Christmas sequel. So if it's not Christmas, you can still see the Gremlins. You can still watch Gremlins movies.
Yes.
And an upcoming revisit of some sort.
There's probably like it's one of those things that I think older than me, there's been like Gremlins 3 may potentially happen. It's either been in development hell or it's like a rumoured idea that's gone on.
Well, think about what you can do these days with the CGI and such like, and obviously puppets are the puppetry technology is far more advanced now as well. So I think it would look a Gremlins 3, as long as it's got a good story, would actually look quite spectacular.
Yeah, do you think they'll get Hollywood megastar Zach Galligan back?
No, they'll use the Stranger Things kids. That's what they'll do.
Yeah.
It's just going to be season 3 of Stranger Things, isn't it?
Well, after a quick Google, it has been written, apparently.
Oh, there we go.
Chris Columbus has written it and said it has a twisted, dark screenplay.
Oh, God.
Well, like the last two series.
Yeah. I wonder I'm trying to think who would be... What's current Hollywood actor now would be in a Gremlins 3?
Dwayne Johnson.
It's a villain, like as a businessman villain.
No, he's the sweet guy that gets the Mogwai. He finds Gizmo. And
he's the child, so it's like all Stranger Things cast as his friends, and then he's just there, like pretending to be like sort of 12 years old on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Well, there's the twisted and dark element of the screenplay.
I'd watch that. It's like Dwayne Johnson as a child. I'd watch that. Yeah.
Well, in that the new Jumanji, isn't he
I've not seen that yet, but he is in it. Yeah.
Yeah,
he is.
Because in the trailers, like someone gets a Dwayne Johnson avatar. So essentially, he's already done I don't know, Jumanji's beating him to the Gremlins to the punch, maybe.
I don't think Dwayne Johnson's going to be in it.
You know what I think would be what we're missing these days is a good all-star cast where everybody is in completely different roles to what they're usually in.
I don't think we need that at all, because we've got like all those crap movies like Love Actually, or what are those ones that used to have like every single actor from Hollywood currently on like the same poster?
Like Valentine's Day and all that nonsense.
Expendables.
Honestly, they're all and I don't know why
43.
they get made. So please, no, let's not have any more movie where people do that.
No more films.
They're disgusting.
I actually quite like Love Actually. I'm just going to go out there and say that.
I saw it once because everyone was going on about how awesome it was, and I was like, right, I should maybe watch it. Tried watching it, and I was like, this is the biggest load of pants I've ever seen in my life. And isn't Alan Rickman in it?
Yes.
And I love that man, and I was like, what the hell's going on here?
I liked the movie as well. I mean, I only recently watched it, and I thought, yeah, that's
maybe
actually quite a good movie.
I've got an issue with.
Maybe. I think it's all right. It's not bad.
Ugh, I don't want not bad. I want amazing.
Hugh Grant always seems to play exactly the same character, though.
Yeah, Liam Neeson playing a guy who's mourning the loss of his wife just before he actually lost his wife.
Yeah,
that's kind of twisted.
That's crazy method. That's Jared Leto levels of method acting.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of Liam Neeson, so maybe that's also another reason why I didn't like Love Actually.
Yeah, that may jade your opinion just a little, I think.
I just can't believe Craig chose it as his favourite Christmas movie.
Well, no, it wasn't his favourite, it was the one he said that he liked.
Okay.
I think if this was a visual thing, this is the perfect moment where we get that road sign thing where you say thread and then actual direction.
Yeah, Craig wasn't allowed to use Nativity 3 Dude Where's My Reindeer as his favourite.
I hope that exists.
Or just, I think the way this conversation's going, it's like that picture of Jurassic Park where Dennis is rotating the sign trying to find out where he needs to go. Cool. Gremlins, yeah, I'm a fan. I'm definitely a fan. I always wanted a Mogwai. I would take better care of it, I think. Although I can't take care of myself. I spill things frequently. I shouldn't have a Mogwai.
That's why Isaac is there.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'll be back to like smashing pans. I feel like just for consistency, I should just like throw plates around my room and stuff, just so we always have that background noise.
Well, if we ever got evil Mogwai, we have a microwave, so we'll be okay.
That's true. We could just
Hang on a second, make you feel at home.
Hey!
Was it? Am I right in thinking it was Ray Harryhausen that did the Gremlins effects?
I think so. Either way, it's pretty. The effects were pretty good.
Yeah, they were. The mutated Gremlins are pretty grotesque.
Indeed. The one at the end as well, where it's mostly just skeleton and it's still coming after him. That's just pretty well done. I can't see how they did it. Sometimes you can see. I can see how they did that, but that one I have no clue.
Yeah, it was Harryhausen that did the Gremlins effects. Yeah, creature feature stuff.
God rest his soul.
It's a good Christmas creature feature, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Oh, I just quickly googled it. Nativity 3 is actually called Dude, Where's My Donkey?
Is that actually its name?
Yeah.
So it really exists?
Yeah, it's a 2014 movie.
Ugh.
It's got Martin Freeman.
Wow.
There's our spoiler special for next Christmas then.
That's it. We're going to do a deep analytical retrospective of the Nativity series.
Yeah.
And I can see the listener count going down, and it's gone.
My mum will probably still listen.
Possibly. Maybe even that will break her. So, any more on Gremlins, or
I'm just reading some info about it, and apparently the composer of the song, Jerry Goldsmith, he's actually has a cameo as the man in a telephone booth glancing at the camera, and none other than Steven Spielberg is in it as well.
Is there not a gag? Is it in Gremlins that there's a gag with the time machine in the background as well?
Yeah,
the science fair. Yeah, there's like a load of smoke,
and then it disappears, and they're trying to
People
figure
are really
out where
confused,
he went.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite hilarious. I first noticed that actually in my viewing of it a couple of days ago. It's the first time I'd watched Gremlins in a long time, and then I'm looking in the background because I've learned to look in the background in films like this.
Yeah.
And sure enough, there's a whole spiel going on about the time machine.
It's there. Time travel exists in the Gremlins universe.
Uh-huh.
There we go. By accident, apparently. So yeah, there's all sorts of little gags like that. Joe Dante is always good at these kinds of things. He does good work in these kind of bizarre little things. And it is a good Christmas movie, I would say. Even though it has a needlessly dark story about... What's her name? Kate? Is that her name? Her dad dying in a chimney?
Yeah, that's a little bit dark. But from what I read somewhere, that actually did happen to someone.
I think it happens to a lot of people, I suppose.
So yeah, it's a bit of a dark bit, but it gets you snap out of it pretty quickly.
It's just such an innocent conversation to begin with. It's like, Kate, why do you hate Christmas? Well, like, what do you say to that? When you're told that story. Cool. Any more on Gremlins, or shall we randomise the dice again?
Yeah, that's everything, I think.
Cool. Here we go. Oh, it's
I'm
me,
scared.
number one.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
We're number one.
No, we're
So
not.
my original choice was usurped, but that may come later, who knows. So instead, I chose the Christmas classic starring one of the greatest action movie actors of all time, action heroes of all time, Arnold Schwarzenegger. It is, of course, Jingle All the Way.
Oh,
The film.
It's Turbo Time!
The film that celebrates all the worst parts of Christmas, such as commercialism, greed, spoiled children, neglectful parents,
Creepy neighbours.
creepy neighbours, parents.
In fact, really creepy neighbours.
Parents running around the city on Christmas Eve looking for a toy they forgot.
yeah, the scrum at the supermarket when it opens.
All American guys with Austrian accents.
Called Howard, the least Arnie name possible.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he's a mattress salesman. It doesn't really tell you, but he sells mattresses.
Must lift a lot of mattresses.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, in the
No,
film.
does he not have like an office job? Does he not wear like a shirt and tie at some point?
No, his
You wear
office
that to
job
sell
is
mattresses.
selling mattresses.
He sells mattresses by the bulk.
And everyone is his number one customer.
Wow, that's cute.
including his
Absolutely
wife.
genius.
Indeed, yeah. There is that little montagey like place bit where he's telling everybody, "You're my number one customer."
Yeah, and the very first part of the film, it reveals that he's a bit neglectful of his son. He's a workaholic. He's late for the karate thing, and by the end of the film, he learns absolutely nothing. So
That's
great
not true.
message.
How can you
No,
say
no.
that?
No, he learns nothing.
Yes, he does.
Well, no, because he's not saying anything that he's not being saying on film. So
No, but what he does, he learns to spend time with his son, and then he realises that his son was looking to a plastic toy to be a hero as a replacement for his dad. But then he's like, oh, that could be me. He steps into that role and becomes a role model for his son. It's really, really powerful.
Wait, whose favourite Christmas movie is this?
Thanks.
yeah, that's until next week where he's trying to watch TV and his son's like, "Look, Dad," and he's like, "Leave me alone."
Mate, the movie doesn't end there, okay? It ends with him having his dad as a role model, okay? And someone that he's proud to say is his dad, because before he doesn't want to say, that's his dad, and he thinks of, Turbo Man is the coolest thing ever. And then he's like, oh my god, my dad is actually amazing. It's a great story.
I think you missed the boat there, Craig.
Well, throughout the film, Arnie has the worst day ever on Christmas Eve. Yeah. He gets involved in some kind of bizarre criminal underground toy counterfeiting business where there's a Turbo Man that speaks... Is it Italian?
I think it's Spanish.
Yeah. And Jim Belushi is a weird, skeezy Santa. And
yeah,
it's really strange. Jake Lloyd is his son, who would later go on to play Anakin Skywalker in The Phantom Menace.
Spoiler alert!
Cast of The Phantom Menace. Spoiler.
Yeah, and then he was never heard from again. He had 2 chances to make it in Hollywood and he failed at both of them.
Isn't he quite I'm not going to finish that sentence.
Dead.
Never mind.
No, he's alive.
I don't think
According
he's
to
a happy
IMDb,
man.
he's alive.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I don't think he had a great time.
He's also born in 1989. He's only 2 years younger than I am. Less than 2 years younger.
I think he had a bit of a hard time recently.
His last credit was Star Wars Racer Revenge as young Anakin Skywalker voice. There it goes. Good career, Jake Lloyd.
Stop it! I'm not going to say anything about him because he was a child actor and he was forced into making a lot of decisions that he didn't want to, and he probably got completely done over. So I'm not saying anything bad about him.
It's also I think I read somewhere he actually chose not to continue anymore because he wanted to do other things.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, not all child actors that suddenly disappear from films disappear because they've been discarded. Some of them actually decide, no, not for me.
Yeah,
Not all child
Matilda
actors
chose
are in
not
the-
to do that.
Chunk from the Goonies.
Indeed. What's his name from Neverending Story? Both
Yeah, but he had to watch a horse die, so do you know what I mean?
both of them actually decided not to further their acting careers.
Not
Because
all
they had to
child
watch a
actors
horse
were in
die.
Phantom Menace, though. Just saying.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that he had and he should have gone on to do bigger and better things in Hollywood. He may have just done it for a laugh and that was it.
Maybe. Darth Vader.
I mean, if someone told you tomorrow, Craig, hey, we want you to be in Star Wars, would you say no?
I would not.
Well, there you go.
What was the point of that?
I don't know.
It means, hey, he got the chance to be in Star Wars. Who would not go for that? Even if that's the only acting job that you're known for afterwards.
Okay.
What a thing to be known for. So, anyway,
Yeah.
back to Jingle All the Way.
Indeed.
I maintain if this film didn't have Arnie in it, it would be completely unwatchable. Because the joke is, it's Arnie, that's the joke.
Yeah.
He's just wandering around, being Austrian, yelling, punching a reindeer in one scene.
As a team of Santa ninjas. You've got to have the Santa ninjas. It's brilliant.
You've also got Phil Hartman being a creep.
Yeah. And a jetpack that's more advanced than anything that's been built by NASA or any
That's
other.
not true. NASA have been to the moon and back by then. Do you know what I mean? So,
But they haven't built a superhero jetpack where you can fly around a city for several minutes.
Yeah, indeed.
That you know of.
And if that technology existed, it would certainly not be a crappy parade.
oh my god, it's, do you know what I mean? Common knowledge. That's why he's a hero. He's a superhero.
He's a superhero.
It's a superhero that we never had.
But it is very funny throughout. I think it's really funny. Sinbad is not great as a foil, but there's a couple of legitimately
He's cute
good
when
jokes.
he gets a suit.
When he gets a suit, yeah, when he becomes Dementor?
The guy man.
Dementor, something like that.
Something man. Method man.
But I actually think it's one of the more realistic Christmas films in terms of how a lot of parents will experience it. You know, they'll be running around after a spoiled child looking for a present that they can't get because they didn't bother to go early enough.
Don't say that. I've got this issue right now. And I'm trying really hard.
Not a parent, just in case that wasn't clear to anyone listening.
Angus really, really wants a Turbo Man this Christmas.
I'm not even joking. It's actually for my husband.
Turbo Man.
And I'm struggling here. I know that. I feel like I should watch that because I can relate right now.
That's it. You will be in Arnie's position.
You're lending weight to Craig's argument.
Also, I find it hilarious when his car gets like torn to pieces. You know, by you never find out who, but it's like essentially burnt out. So he has a really horrible day. And I wanted to see the conversation with his wife where she was like, "What happened to the car? Like you went out to get something."
Yeah, they kind of gloss over that.
Yeah. He has a horrible... He spends hundreds of dollars on nothing. So... Oh, it's Arnie. He can afford it. He's sold a lot of mattresses recently. So he's okay.
Or buttresses.
To his number one...
To his number one customer.
Number one customer.
Yeah, and I liked Phil Hartman. You know, just being the sleazy Ted with his non-alcoholic eggnog.
Yeah.
And Ted is clearly diddling half the neighbourhood women, which is kind of disturbing.
Ew, don't use the word diddling. That is absolutely disgusting.
Diddling.
Oh my god. Why did you use that word?
Because I did.
Ugh.
Diddling.
Ugh.
Well,
That is literally like...
it's a lot more family friendly than some words I could
No,
imagine
that
just
is...
now.
I think that is a really... I don't even want to say it again because that sounds disgusting.
Diddling.
Ugh.
There we go.
Ross.
I might tell Sandra not to listen to this one.
Oh my god.
Diddling.
Oh no.
So, any other thoughts on Jingle All the Way from anyone? You know, anyone want to massively disagree with me or support me or whatever?
Do you know, I think I used to watch it when I was younger, and I think I tried to watch it as an adult a couple of years ago, and just cringed like so badly, and I just couldn't handle it anymore. I think it's definitely one that's just for like no one. I don't think it's for anyone.
It's definitely not my go-to film. I mean, if I'm channel surfing and there's nothing else on and that's on... And I
You
just need
switch off the TV.
No, I'll have
Throw
it
the
on as
TV out
back.
the window.
I'll have it on as background.
It's no nativity-free Dude, Where's My Donkey, is it? So
Oh
it's...
god, no.
But it does have
Distinction.
Arnie yelling, "Put that cookie down."
Oh, that's a great scene.
There you
It's
go.
just him. It's just Arnold Schwarzenegger. He could be in anything, and I'd probably try and watch it. But
If he
but
wasn't in
now-
this, it would be horrible. I do acknowledge that, but it's also I also enjoy it.
Yeah, he makes the film.
He
Definitely.
does, for better or for worse. His
Well, I mean,
presence
like
is the
like
best
you
thing
said
about it.
earlier, like there wouldn't really be case for watching it if he wasn't in it. Like there's nothing else going for it.
No,
Nothing.
Agreed.
And that weird pink Power Ranger monster. What's that all about?
Booster. No one likes Booster apparently.
Ugh.
Although I do think the Turbo Man theme tune is actually quite catchy.
I
Sing
wonder,
a few bars of it for us.
I will not.
I wonder if they were trying to set up, like, if there's a strong enough case, if Turbo Man could have become like a superhero, like
God,
in his own right. Can you imagine an actual superhero movie of Turbo Man?
I'm going to write it.
I'm gonna say I think it was probably considered, and then they were like, nah, like we've gone too far.
Well,
Power Rangers,
these days they'd go,
Turbo.
oh, that sounds like a brilliant idea.
But yeah, it's fine. So that's my chosen movie. I don't mind it. I watch it every year. It's good
You
fun.
don't mind it.
Brilliant.
Craig, how many points did you give this movie out of 6?
I'm not going to tell you that.
Aww.
It seems like you were scraping the barrel for a choice.
No,
There were plenty of movies.
It was actually my second choice, to be fair.
Oh.
Charlie
Chris-
Brown Christmas.
The curtain has been lifted.
Yeah.
And Chris and I
There
did an
was,
entire podcast on this last year.
Yeah, we did.
There's like Home Alone 2.
That was going to be my bit, Tad, is if you want to hear us break this down in agonising detail, there's an entire
God.
podcast for you.
It's probably one of the top 10 listened episodes that we've ever had, so
No, it's not.
that's, it could be. I haven't
Oh
done
my
an
God.
else.
The grand total of 6 listens.
This is why I didn't want to focus just on Muppets Christmas Carol, because I was like, I'm not having you destroy this movie for me. I'm not having us talk about this aimlessly for an hour and a half and utterly destroy it. So, hi.
So instead you're going to destroy Jingle All the Way for me, is that what's happening?
No, we
No.
just strengthened it for you.
I actually, said that the storyboard and whatever was the character developed, blah blah.
It also has Willard Kraft from Sabrina the Teenage Witch in it as a radio
Oh,
DJ.
Willard. Oh,
Yeah.
Willard.
He's the guy that promises to give them a Turbo Man eventually. So it looks like Salvation is for Arnie, and then it's not. He'll get it in like February or something. He gets a gift certificate. It's a shame. So yeah, Jingle All the Way. It's a film.
It's a movie.
It technically qualifies as a film.
Oh.
I don't think the film would work these days because you've got online shopping.
Yeah.
You would just Amazon it these days.
Well, he'd go on Amazon and be like, this will be delivered after Christmas. And he'd be like, no. And then he'd go on another website. And
It would be a missed delivery, and he's chasing the delivery driver through the entire city trying to get the package before he returns it to the depot for him to collect after Christmas.
Or better
it's
yet,
like
someone
Need for Speed or
hijacks the drone. It's a drone delivery and someone hijacks it. And he has to go Arnie on him.
He does.
I'd like if it was like current governor of California, Arnie, but his priorities is mattress business. It's like, yeah, we'll solve the forest fires and we'll solve we'll solve all the other stuff that Californians want, but let's get this mattresses thing, so get this order out the way, and then we'll move into hard, heavy politics.
Yeah. Indeed. I don't think I need to throw the randomness generator in again because we only have one left. That was quick.
No, we don't.
2.
Well, oh no, I forgot I was editing you out completely.
Oh, those are some harsh blows.
Well, whatever. I'm
I
only
hate you
joking.
all.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for bringing you here tonight.
So randomness generator. Then, okay, it went to 1 again. So I'm not talking about this again.
Well,
3, Natalie, you're up.
Hey!
Yay! I'm trying to remember what I chose.
Ready to go.
So my chosen movie was Muppet Christmas Carol, but that got taken. And then I was
Hello.
too slow to take Home Alone. And so I go with my third choice, which is How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And it's the original animation, not the Jim Carrey palaver, which is good and enjoyable, but it's the 26-minute long 1966 Dr. Seuss animation that I've chosen. And this is Christmas for me, I guess, because every year me and Gus B have got a little tradition where when we're putting up our Christmas tree, which is what we're currently doing right now, we always stick on this movie, and it gets us in the festive spirit before we then watch Home Alone 2,
Jingle All the
Muppets
Way.
Christmas Carol, etc., etc. But it always sort of is the start of Christmas, I guess, and you can get proper festive, and it's kind of similar themes to some of the other movies that we've talked about. That's Gusby bringing in some seasonal cheer.
Hello.
But yeah, some of the themes, so like consumerism, the Grinch is really against it, and it's a bit like Christmas Carol in that his heart's too small, and then he like learns to love everyone and realizes the true reason for Christmas and the spirit of Christmas, and then becomes friends with everyone in Whoville, and it's really lovely. But it's quite funny, and of course it's in rhyme because it's Dr. Seuss, and everyone loves Dr. Seuss, and it's a fun little thing to have on when you're putting up the tree. It's really cute.
Oh.
What do other people think? You've all seen it, right?
I actually rewatched it the other day, and it's a little half-hour thing.
Has anyone seen the terrifying Dr. Seuss film, The 5,000 Fingers of Dr. T?
Oh my god, yes, I think I have.
Yeah, because I feel like forever haunted by that bit where he says that like someone couldn't keep the time, so he's sewn him into a drum.
Is that like is it like black and white and in a basement?
I can't remember. I saw it like ages and ages ago. It's got an incredibly. Yeah. It's like a sort of a room-sized piano thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I saw it a really long time ago as well because somebody else asked me if I'd seen it and I said no, and then I remember watching it and being like, "Whoa, Dr. Seuss is like so dark."
Yeah.
Green human centipede in hand.
Is the Jim Carrey one? I've not seen the Jim Carrey one. Is that set like in the real world, or is that also set in Whoville?
Yeah, it's still set in Whoville.
Is it?
Yeah, it's set in Whoville.
All right. Okay.
He wears very strange, very elaborate makeup, actually.
Yes.
It's
Jim
quite
Carrey's
good
second
though.
film where he wears green makeup.
I'm a huge admirer of Jim Carrey, but I had to go with the original version instead of the movie version. But and I love their hair as well. They've always got great hairstyles. They're very fashion forward. The Who's.
Yeah. I think it's a charming little half-hour thing. It doesn't take up too much time. It tells its story well. The rhymes are... well, they rhyme.
Yeah, they're mad cute.
It was also in Home Alone.
Yes,
Briefly.
Tim Curry's face turns into the Grinch. And it looks a lot like one of our friends. It looks like Lanny, and I always love that because I always think of him when I watch it.
I'm guessing that's a good thing for him. I don't know.
Well, he's really cute.
Does he hate Christmas?
And love Tim Curry, so yeah.
I was actually thinking about the original Home Alone. He's actually watching it.
Is that when he's eating all the ice cream?
Yeah, Kevin's actually watching The Grinch.
I thought is he not watching it in the back of a limo?
No. Actually, I've not seen Home Alone 2.
He's watching it in the back of a limo, and then that's when Tim Curry realises that the credit card's been listed as stolen, so he waits for him to come back to the hotel.
You're talking about Home Alone 2 Lost in New York.
Yeah.
Sandy's talking about Home Alone 1 Not Lost in New York.
And is he watching The Grinch in that as well?
Yeah, he's watching it at home. Because he's home alone, and he's watching it.
Oh, I thought he was watching Bad Boy, Angels with Dirty Faces
What you
movie.
mean to say is,
Angels
it's so
with
good
Dirty
that
Wings,
it's
I
in
think
both.
it is, or something like that. Yeah, he does watch that afterwards, but just actually, it's more like it's on in the background as he's making that whatever he's making himself to eat.
Okay. Cool.
There we go. It transcends everything.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, like, I guess for many movies, they use the Grinch as, like, the epitome of Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, there's the two, there's the two anti-Christmas symbols, isn't there? There's Scrooge and there's the Grinch. And they both have a similar character arc, really, as well.
They really do, and I was noticing that, actually, tonight when I was watching it, because I was just like, it's pretty much the same story.
I mean, Scrooge doesn't give people coal for the fire, but he doesn't run about stealing everyone's light bulbs, does he?
No.
Mostly because it was in Dickensian time and no one had light bulbs.
Or the NHS, because I was watching The Muppets Christmas Carol, and they were talking about somebody getting sick. And, oh yeah, it's like the first guy that comes in to, like, say, oh, I can't pay my mortgage, little whoever, like, oh, she's not been well, and the doctor takes his cut. And I was like, whoa. This is, like, proper old. This is before we had a health system where people wouldn't become homeless if they couldn't afford their medical bills. Just say in America, you're pre-Victorian.
So we've established that that Christmas Carol is set before World War II. Then
Huh?
the NHS came in post
Some
World War
iteration
II.
of it,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes. Just found that very interesting, and I naturally drew correlations between Scrooge and Trump, and I was like, wow. Will he ever learn? Probably not.
Viewership just shot up.
Huh?
You mentioned Trump. So all Craig now has to do is put Trump in the tagline or in the description somewhere, and the viewership for this podcast is just going to skyrocket.
Wonderful, I can't wait.
Question is, am I that shallow? Yes, I am.
Yes. Do we encourage it? Yes. Yes, we do.
We're going to get so many hits. The best of hits. We will have the biggest, mostest of hits that I've ever hit.
Yay!
Yeah,
the
lots
mostest
of hits.
The mostest of hits.
Yes. So it sounds like you have quite a profound connection to the original Grinch film. I think the animation holds up. You know, it's very of its time, but it's very nice.
Yeah, it is very of its time. It's very, very old-fashioned, but there's definitely a charm to that. I mean, the books have never changed their sort of illustrations or anything like that. It's always been the same stylistic way that it's been for 50, 60 years. It has held up really well. It's really good.
The cartoon does look like it's straight out of the books.
Yeah, and I think that's really like magical, because I can imagine if you've read them all as a little kid and then you watch it, you're like, wow, it's like real.
Well, that classic animation is kind of what they're going back to now. I mean, when you see some of the stuff that the BBC do around about Christmas, when they normally do they commission a couple of little short animations, they're going back more and more now to proper sort of drawn animation, or at least even if it's computer generated, making it look hand drawn and going back to that for that feel.
Yeah, it's definitely it's like a homely nostalgia feeling, and I guess that's what people want at Christmas anyway. So it's like an easy way in. I'm going to end my little bit with a quote from the Grinch, if you don't mind.
A quote? Go
It's
for
maybe
it.
like the most famous quote from the Grinch. Okay. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. What if Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store? What if Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more?
Yeah,
Dr.
Jake
Zeus, you're a
Lloyd.
legend.
I hope
So, yeah.
Arnie's son from Jingle All the Way is listening to that.
Yeah, and I can take that.
I think that means that Gus gets to reveal what he chose, which irked Craig a little.
Last but by
has
no
the
means least.
Random number generator has finally fallen on me.
Well, by process of elimination, you're the last one left.
No,
so-
I wait until the random number generator selection.
Okay. Excuse me, guys. This could take a while. 3 again.
Oh, God.
4.
I can't believe you're entertaining this thought, Craig.
Come on. Let's go
I'm just
two.
going to lie. Now it's 2.
Were you number 2?
Yeah. Okay, well, I think it's probably fitting that I've been randomly selected to go last. Because I believe that my selection is the superior choice for Christmas viewing. It's the prototypical action movie. It's probably the greatest action movie of all time. Some people contend that it's not a Christmas movie. I'm talking to you, Mum. But it is a Christmas film. It's set on Christmas Eve.
Or
It's
my
filled
friend
with
Julie.
it's filled with all kinds of Christmas references. I'm talking, of course, about Die Hard.
Woo!
Yeah!
The Telegraph as well are now saying it's quintessentially not Christmas.
Oh, right. They
Well, the
can,
saying
Telegraph are wrong.
they can bugger
Yes.
off. It's
saying
consistently ranked number one.
You've
The
got,
number one Christmas movie.
Yep, you've got
by-
that. You've got that meme. There are those who think Die Hard is a Christmas film, and there are those who are wrong.
Yeah.
I fall into both of those categories. Don't really understand how, but I do.
Even as recently as December 2017, which is now Empire and Forbes and others have Die Hard at the top of all of their Christmas lists.
And right, they should.
Indeed.
Well, I've had discussions with detractors who say that it's not a Christmas movie because it could be set at any time of the year. And to that I respond with, so can Home Alone.
Yeah.
But Home Alone is a Christmas movie. according to these people, but not Die Hard. Double
I've been
standard.
convinced that Die Hard is now a Christmas movie, but when we had our Christmas-a-thon last year, I didn't want to end it with Die Hard because I was like, of all the Christmas movies that you could choose, I don't feel like that is Christmas.
Well,
But Angus is going to tell us a little bit more about that.
you and all of these other people are confused and wrong. It is a Christmas film because it features John McClane, an everyman.
Yeah. Love him.
We can all relate. He's a weary traveller, just like Joseph and Mary in the original Christmas story, travelling home, travelling to see his family. You know, he's scrunching his toes up on the plane, trying to get over these symptoms of travelling. I'd
He has
also
a giant bear.
I'd also contend that he plays Santa in this film because he's bringing gifts to everyone. He's bringing the gift of freedom to the people that he's freeing, saving from the terrorists / thieves pretending to be terrorists. That's a spoiler, no spoiler breakdown for you there. And he's bringing the gift of bullets and explosions to the bad guys.
Yeah, he gives them a gift of bullets, definitely.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that.
And the gift of self-confidence to Alan.
I'd also...
is Alan the, like, cop?
He is.
Yeah.
He shot a kid.
Oh, he's so cute, that man.
Exactly, so McClane's just handing out presents left, right and centre. He even comes in Nakatomi Plaza's chimney at one point when he dives off the roof, tied up with a fire hose. You know, that's basically a metaphorical chimney.
God.
If Santa was a badass action hero, that's how he'd get in.
Oh my god.
Yep,
I've
makes
never
sense.
thought of it like that before.
Makes perfect sense to me.
Exactly.
And of course, no one else sees him doing it.
Yeah.
The hostages are just sitting there, wondering what's going on.
He's able to creep around the house,
Yes.
handing out his gifts.
Wow. My mind has been blown.
And I'd say that it has so many elements of a lot of the Christmas movies that have already been mentioned, which I think build together to make it the most supreme Christmas movie. And I'm glad that I got to go last, because otherwise I would have ruined the reveals of everyone else's decisions and choices.
It's the most wonderful time.
Not only is he like Santa crawling around those air ducts, but he sets up a load of traps around that metaphorical house, just like Kevin does in Home Alone. He stops a bad guy, the Grinch, aka Hans Gruber. Although his baddie is even worse than the Grinch, because the Grinch didn't murder people. But the Grinch is trying to steal Christmas, which is basically what Hans Gruber is trying to do. He's going around thieving things from people.
He successfully does that. He steals lives.
Well, the Grinch stole things first, but then the Grinch wasn't that much of a baddie because he gave his stuff back. Not like Hans Gruber. I'd also say he's a bit like Ebenezer Scrooge because, he has his flaws. He's obviously split up with his wife. But just like Scrooge, he's redeemed at the end. When everyone comes back together, he makes a new friend in Al, and he and his wife are reunited. And also, just like you've mentioned, Craig, about the rampant commercialism in your decision, at the very end of Die Hard, it takes a stand against commercialism. Because even in LA, it snows when the shredded bearer bonds come tumbling down out of the sky. And what are we supposed to take from that? Reject commercialism. It's all about family, friends, and machine guns.
Put far too much thought into that.
I know he's actually reading from a script, and
I'm not surprised.
I had to Google when my thing came out.
I'm not reading from a script, but I can if you really want me to, because we've also mentioned Christmas music, theme tunes, various things that appear in the movies we've been talking about so far. But
I didn't.
The music that appears in Die Hard is some of the greatest Christmas music ever, and I'm talking about Christmas in Hollis. If you'll indulge me, I'll say, rhyme so loud and proud you hear it. It's Christmas time and we got the spirit. Jack Frost chilling, the hawk is out, and that's what Christmas is all about. The time is now, the place is here, and the whole wide world is filled with cheer. My name's DMC, with the mic in my hand, and I'm chilling and cooling just like a snowman. So open your eyes, lend us an ear. We want to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year!
He's left the building.
Wonderful.
Yeah, what can you add to that, really? It's just a brilliant film. I mean, I just watched it the other day with my friend. It's what I only watch it in December.
Same.
Otherwise, I want it'll wear out, and I don't want to wear that out. It's just a brilliant film. Although I did notice one thing about it. The whole spiel at the beginning when Alan Rickman's character Hans Gruber and his co, they take over, and they're looking for Mr. Takagi. He knows everything about Mr. Takagi, but didn't think to look at a picture of him.
Well, he didn't have Google, so...
There it is. There was no Google in 1988.
He left his Forbes magazine at home.
There we go.
Yeah. Hans Gruber, great villain.
Yeah, oh my god, yes.
Alan Rickman's first Hollywood film.
That's correct.
Are there any movies where, like, Alan Rickman is a good guy?
Not really. He was a
Galaxy
typecast
Quest.
man. Yes, Galaxy Quest.
I've never seen that.
Oh, you
No
should.
idea what
It's
it is.
brilliant.
But I don't know if I want to see him as a good guy, because I definitely, like, find him really attractive as a bad man.
The Sheriff of Nottingham is a good guy from a certain point of view, because there's all these tax-dodging criminals out there in the woods that he's rounding up.
In Galaxy Quest, he's still kind of a crotchety guy, so he's always that.
But he's not evil.
No.
He's not the bad guy.
I'll definitely watch Galaxy Quest, though. Get that sorted over the Christmas break. Not really a Christmas film, but why not?
I love his quintessentially British moment in Galaxy Quest. Where are you going? I'm off to find a pub.
That's great. And John McClane, great action hero until Die Hard 5, where he's not such a great action hero.
Have we seen them all?
He's getting old. Come on.
It's like Home Alone in that respect, in that diminishing returns.
Mm-hmm.
It's really difficult to believe Kevin McAllister is left home alone when he's 35. Strains credibility slightly.
He's like one of like Ur Woolley or Bart Simpson. He never seems to get older, Kevin McAllister, because there's a Home Alone 5 and 6, I think, as well, and it's still about 10 years old.
I thought there was only 4. Jeez.
Yeah, there are a few. There are some that don't have a name. It's just Home Alone and then subtitle. We don't talk about them.
Sorry, I'm laughing at Home Alone 2 that's on the screen.
Home Alone 2, Home Alone 3, and Home Alone 4.
Home Alone Covenant.
Home Alone Covenant.
Oh, this movie.
Home Alone, this time it's serious.
There's something called Home Alone: The Holiday Heist.
I think that's what I'm thinking about.
That's got a girl in it,
Oh dear.
and she's holding her face like Macaulay Culkin is. Oh, it looks
So
horrible.
who's
So everyone's voting for Die Hard as
Yeah.
the best film, right?
I didn't. I gave it a 4.
Well, stop revealing
4
your
points.
scores. We haven't
Don't
got to that.
reveal
yet.
the
Yeah, keep it
scores.
secret.
Oh no, edit
Why
that.
not?
Put some jingling bells over that sound.
Why? Why? When? Why? If it's not real now, when is it revealed?
Soon.
Soon.
Yeah, very soon.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter like what I give it because it's its overall score,
It was
right?
the night before the scores were revealed.
Anyway,
Yeah, Die Hard, and it's got a bit of corporate culture in there, which is weird because it's like an 80s version of corporate culture, and the touchscreen computers in the lobby, they're
Yep.
amazing.
And a very risque joke about when Joe Takagi says, "Hey, we didn't get you Pearl Harbor didn't work out, so we got you tape decks."
Oh yes.
I don't think that would pass censorship these days.
And there's Ellis. Ellis is in there. He's someone that you should hate.
Classic
Yep.
smarmy 80s guy.
Smarmy. Yep.
Snorting cocaine off the boss's desk.
Yeah. And then Bruce Willis tells him, you missed a bit. Just after Joe Takagi introduces him as a cop.
Yeah. Brilliant.
I actually do think I love this movie because I remember a few years ago I did this online quiz, right? Do you know the quizzes where it's like, oh, what action hero are you? And I did one, and I had to wake Gus up to tell him who I was, and I was like, oh, who do you think I was? Who do you think I am? Like who do
It's
you
2
think I
o'clock
got?
in the morning.
Was the response,
Yeah,
it's 2 in the
pretty
morning, leave me alone?
Pretty much. And he's like, oh, I don't know, who are you? And I was like, I'm John McClane. And that's become one of our standard go-to quotes. of life, where he'll throw out "I'm John McClane" at me, and I feel like this movie is an integral part of my life now.
See, it's bringing people together. The Christmas message.
The thing is, though, like, I hear it so many times now that I kind of believe that I am John McClane. So,
John McClane is a badass.
Have you been crawling around air ducts and
and
taping,
I don't wear shoes. So,
and taping C4 to office chairs and things like that?
That's another thing about the Die Hard franchise in general. It's not averse to poking fun of it at itself. In the second one, he makes a reference to that it's happening again, because he's going through a duct and says, "How can the same?" I can't swear on this. So how can the same stuff happen to the same guy twice?
Yeah, and then he has another adventure in Die Hard 3 where he's unlucky, and then Die Hard 4. And then Die Hard 5, we just don't talk about.
And there's apparently going to be another one.
Oh God, let's not go there.
Wasn't there a Die Hard PlayStation game?
There was Die Hard Trilogy on the PS1, where you got to wander around Nakatomi Plaza in the third-person perspective.
And there was Metal Gear Solid 2.
Which is just Die Hard, yeah.
Just probably way better.
And there was the Die Hard with a Vengeance game was on that same disc was a light gun game, and then there was a driving game that was Impossible as well with a Vengeance. So yes.
Can I just say that Die Hard with a Vengeance is probably my favourite of the three proper.
Oh.
I like that one. I just like it. I don't know why. I just do.
You can watch it any time of year.
Yeah, I think that's why. I think that's probably why I can watch it any time, especially in the summer because it's set in the summer.
Yeah. So, Die Hard. Awesome.
But yeah, Die Hard. Absolutely fantastic film.
And that was going to be my choice.
I'm
but
glad everyone agrees with me.
See, that's what I get for being nice and deciding to choose last.
You're just
give everyone else an opportunity.
Exhibiting your Christmas spirit.
That was it.
I won't say what vote I gave it, but I actually gave it a higher vote than my movie choice.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
So, on that note, we decided that we were going to take a bit of a poll on how these films stack up when compared to each other. We were going to do an audience reaction, but we don't have an audience. So instead we chose each other. We all submitted our scores anonymously to our independent adjudicator, Aaron, who couldn't be with us tonight. But he has pre-recorded a response that may or may not be possible to play. Depends on our IT guy, if he can do it.
I can do it. So Craig, you've got to say hello, Aaron, and Aaron will appear as if by magic.
Yes, so...
I hope we're keeping all that in, because I love all that, like, behind-the-scenes talk.
Yeah. So we're going to go live to Aaron in the past. So that time machine from Gremlins is going to kick in again.
It's like Eurovision.
What, you didn't get a DeLorean? You cheapskate.
Well, have you seen the price of petrol?
Never mind that. Have you seen the price of DeLoreans?
Where we're going, we won't need petrol.
You just
Don't we, like, feed it banana skins and
yeah, you just stole the words right out of my mouth.
No. Mr. Fusion only powers the time circuits. It still needs gasoline to drive.
Guys, Christmas.
Yes, well, they do mention going to the birth of Christ in the first Back to the Future film.
Okay.
And I first saw Back to the Future at Christmas that year for me.
It was also always on British TV at Christmas.
technically Culkin.
Technicality no down the rover.
Right, so we're going to go live to the past with Aaron. So, hi, Aaron.
Thank you, Craig, and welcome to Edinburgh.
Seamless.
Bienvenue at Edinburgh. It's an absolute pleasure to welcome you and the gang here to Scotland this evening on this dark and miserable December night. Whilst we wait for the judges and jury to bring in their scores, I'd love to tell you a little bit about our city and all the wonders therein, but it's dark and I can't see anything. Also, winter is here, and it's very cold, and I have no intention of showing around outside at all. So we're just going to have to sit here in the miserable darkness waiting for the scores. Oh, here. Excellent. Turns out the results are just coming in now. Perfect.
He's milking his part today, isn't he?
Just a bit.
In last place, getting the shaft. Dernier place, avec 14 points. The film that none of you really gave two damns about.
Nil point.
It's The Grinch.
Oh.
Right in the
Avoiding
kidney.
the shaft.
Two
with a
sides of
stunning...
Oh, wait,
You want me to continue on, or you want a reaction as you go?
how many points did he give the Grinch? I didn't hear the points.
Do you want me to
he say it in
rewind
French
the
or in
Definitely
French?
Live? Let me rewind Definitely Live, Aaron, okay?
No. Aaron, please say that again in
Yes,
exactly
could
the
you
same
give us those-
tone.
Narrowly avoiding the shaft with a stunning 15 points. The second film that none of you really cared much about at all and barely gave it enough points to be welcome here. En 5e place, avec 15 points. Jingle All the Way.
Oh my god! How did Jingle All the Way get more than the Grinch?
Oh.
I'm not last.
I feel like with the explanation that I've half-assedly given this evening, I feel like maybe you guys would have changed your scores had you heard more about it.
Nope.
Boom.
To be absolutely brutally honest, I really detest the Zeus rhyming.
Right, get the fuck out.
Oh. Jingle bell.
Where's your Christmas spirit?
Meow.
It's gone.
Handbags at dawn.
Okay, thank you, Aaron. Do you want to continue?
Jingle All the Way.
Just to rub it.
In fourth place, actually managing a respectable score of 22 points. En 4e place, avec 22 points.
It is like Eurovision.
Gremlins.
Damn.
No one did that. No one did that before.
No, thank God.
I actually whistled it, but I forgot that I had myself on mute.
Did anyone ever have the Gremlins toy when they were like younger? Because my sister had one and it was really cute.
I have a toy gizmo somewhere. Yeah, he sits on my bedside table and falls off when I just try to pick up my phone when the alarm goes off. Because I end up punching him off. There we
Every
go.
day.
There's a bit of slice of Craig's life for
I
everyone.
like it.
Isaac often hears Craig playing with his gizmo.
Oh.
Ding dong.
Right, guys. that's-
TMI.
Anyway, back to Aaron, live from freezing Edinburgh, where we all are.
Leading us into the top three. The three films that were neck and neck through most of the scoring that the judges had some trouble deciding over. The first of the real contenders with 29 points. En 3e place, avec 29 points. Home Alone.
Oh.
Was your girlfriend.
Whoa.
Woof.
Oh shoot, sorry. Drop my phone.
That's like a tarantula to the face, that, isn't it?
My voice isn't good enough right now to do that that scream that he does. Apparently, that was a real tarantula, and Stern agreed to do it once and once only.
Maybe Santa will drop it in the edit.
Tarantulas are really sensitive, so I hope he didn't scream like that when it was on his face, because that would have really scared it.
How many times did he take the iron in the face, though?
Several.
Or how many times did he get electrocuted in the second one? No.
Oh my god, this means that it's between Die Hard and The Muppets Christmas Carol.
Yep.
Right, call the shots. Who's winning?
Muppets.
You need to put a drum beat in this on this.
Okay.
A drum roll or a drum beat?
I'll take
Drum
a drum
roll,
beat behind
drum
my
roll,
impromptu
drum roll.
rap earlier as well.
Just a generic drum machine type beat.
Yeah, just public access drum beat.
Cool. Yes. So I'm going to go with Die Hard still. Over the
Yeah,
Muppets.
I think Die Hard's going to win.
I think Die
Muppets
Hard
will
might
win.
clinch it.
Damn
Although
it!
I think the Muppets need to do the Muppets Die Hard.
I think the Muppets have probably done one. I'd be
What if-
surprised if the Muppets haven't done a Die Hard.
What if it's a
situation.
tie? Because we didn't do what Eurovision do, where like the points change quite a lot to
Well,
really.
Aaron
find the first.
also voted, so that removes the possibility of a tie.
Oh, good.
How would that what?
Not so
How
impartial.
would that remove the possibility of a tie?
Because it just does, okay?
It
That
does.
doesn't
There's
make
reasons.
I'm not
Doesn't
going
make
to.
any sense. You
I'm not
guys.
going to
Christmas.
explain this mathematical formula that I've spent no time thinking about.
Right. Okay. Let's find out.
Aaron, back to you. What's number 2?
Which brings us to the top 2. One of these is your choice of the 2017 Kneel Before Pod Christmas Scoring Awards. The winner,
Trademark.
with 35 of a possible 42 points, est le gagnant avec 35 points. Die Hard.
Hey, Muppets done it!
Yeah.
Victory!
Holy crap!
Parade.
Yeah.
There was a disturbance in the force.
No one
You
saw
guys
that
voted.
coming.
You guys voted.
Wow.
And Aaron wants to reveal.
Yeah, sorry, Aaron, we're stealing your thunder.
Leaving us only in second place, closely followed with 32 points.
Well,
Le
respectable.
second, avec 32 points, La Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Le Muppet Christmas Carol. Thank you. Those were the results of the Kneel Before blog jury.
Hey.
Thank you very much, Aaron.
Wait.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you, Aaron. You can now
Thanks,
return to your
Aaron.
own time.
I feel like we should have Aaron
Thank
do
you,
this
Craig.
all the time.
Well,
Yeah, definitely. We need to do more like this, and he needs to be the judge every time.
But I just feel like, can we have him speak like that the next 5 times that he joins us? Because I think I love him.
What, just repeating everything in French?
Yeah,
That's-
and giving it points for the pointing.
I think our
point system.
podcasts are long enough.
Yeah, on that note, now that we know who has won, I've got to go finish my Christmas tree.
Well,
Yes. Suddenly she has no interest anymore.
that's it. That's it.
That's it. Yeah, that's
It was
cool.
all about the competition. Now it's like, nah.
Yeah, indeed.
They've declared the winner. I'm not going to buy the single. See you later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody okay with the winner? I mean, it doesn't matter if you are or not. There are no takebacks.
The travesty.
No take backsies. No, it makes perfect sense to me.
I am
Well-
glad that finally it's like at the top of a list, because I know Gus like reeled off all of these like, oh, Empire said so and so said so and blah blah blah. But I think it's about time Die Hard took a step back and let the other Christmas movies in for a little while.
But it won.
Yeah, Die Hard won. He
What?
announced the winner, and he did a switcheroo. He announced the winner first with 38 points, and then with a respectable 32 points, you had.
Why did he do that?
To confuse you.
The parade is back on.
Oh, so this whole time you thought you'd lost? That's hilarious.
Oh, we both misunderstood the rules.
I misinterpreted the rules.
It's just Aaron's unique presentation style.
Yeah.
Right, that's it, Aaron. You're fired.
Oh,
I take back everything
God, that-
I said.
That was
That
quick.
changed quickly. Yeah.
A quick divorce. I love him to you're fired.
Everything that she said before, I am now saying.
You are harsh.
Look, I thought that Muppets had won.
Now they got 32, and I think Die Hard got 35. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, I
36.
heard a lower
36,
number,
sorry.
but then I thought that I must have made that up.
Well, it all worked out in the end.
It all worked out in the end. John
I
McClane
will-
saved Christmas once again.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Not.
Oh, that's quintessentially Scottish. Nut.
No.
Oh my god, he's still playing We Are the Champions.
Well, of course, he put in so much effort.
He did actually, out
And
of
it's all
everyone,
paid off.
he did put forward the most articulate case.
Absolutely.
So-
I mean, I Leroy Jenkins did. You know, I just went in. Wah!
And I was stuck with Jingle All the Way.
Yeah, but you've already discussed that for like 2 hours of your life, so come on, you should have been a pro.
Please,
recap
it was
that
like
blog.
it was like 48 minutes. Come on.
Watch this. He'll insert that blog about Jingle All the Way.
Just all 48 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm going to check how long it was. Because I can. Because it'll be... Where is it?
It's your blog. You can do what you want. Harry!
I'm not going to edit in the entire podcast. No one wants to hear that. It was 50 minutes and 5 seconds. I was close.
Just about Jingle All the Way. What on earth did you talk about?
We talked about Jingle All the Way.
In
Guys, why
great,
did we not talk
agonising detail.
Why did we not talk about Home Alone 2 and the amazing scene when Thingy goes across the ice rink just stealing everyone's like clothes? I love that scene.
Because we decided to talk about Jingle All the Way.
It's also on right now.
Indeed. So, yeah, Christmas. And we should do more like competitive movie offs or thing offs.
Yeah, it makes me feel really festive.
I don't know, I might retire as champion.
Therefore, you can be undefeated. I like it.
Quit while you're ahead.
Well, you can do the scores next time.
That's true, I could do that.
Right.
I could never live up to that amazing Eurovision scoring, though.
I know,
Well-
it was funny how you said that it's like Eurovision, and then it was.
Oops.
And no one had heard that audio clip before today. It was kept under wraps.
Awesome.
I know.
Well, on that festive note, I'm going to wish you all a very Merry Christmas, and I might see some of you for a quick reaction 5-minute slot on Star Wars when that comes out this week. 2 days, tomorrow.
Possibly at 3 a.m. Yes.
Tomorrow! It's tomorrow.
I go to see it on Saturday.
Woo.
Well, you won't be involved, I'm afraid. We're doing a quick reactionary shot.
I ain't doing a 3 a.m. in the morning thing. No, heck no.
What will be out first, though? This podcast or the Star Wars reaction podcast?
The Star Wars reaction
Well,
podcast.
there you go.
Well, we've all
So we'll
seen
see you
Star
there,
Wars.
guys.
See you in the past, everyone.
We will be
back
doing
to
a proper, real discussion on Star Wars like next week, though.
And the
long time
continuity
ago.
is shot.
A long
Podcast far, far away.
I don't think Neil Before Pod has sorted out their timeline. I think the chronology's all off.
Yeah, there's definitely no continuity here at all.
We are
We
the time
exist on
travelers.
multiple planes.
We are the time traveler's wife of podcasts.
If I'd seen that movie, I'd pretend to laugh.
Pretend to laugh.
Don't watch the movie, read the book. The book's better.
Okay.
But basically, a guy experiences his timeline out of order.
I got that from the title of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, bye. Have a beautiful time.
See what you
Okay,
did
so I'm going to thank my guests. I'm going to thank me, because that's important.
Well done, Craig.
Yay! Angus, thanks for being here.
Yippee-ki-yay, melon farmers.
Yay! Natalie, thanks for being here.
Danada.
Chris, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Isaac, thanks for being in the same house.
I live with Craig.
Ah, fantastic. New text alert.
Isaac, you have to join us all the time.
All the time.
I live
All the
here.
time.
Like, what I do is, while Craig makes his podcast, I just wait in my room so I can go and cook my food. And like, like, getting real hungry now. The Supergirl can't have had that much in it. It's like, I'm now going to talk about the Flash. I'm like, I guess I'll just drink water and wait.
You thought they were long, Natalie? You've never had to put up with that.
I know.
There we go.
Well done,
Yeah, it's-
Isaac. I think
Well done, Isaac.
you should get some sort of special, I don't know.
The real hero.
Yeah, the real hero of our show tonight. Isaac.
There we go. Whoa, round of applause. And last, but by no means least, Sandy, thank you for being here.
Yeah, it was good fun.
Cool. And to all our listeners, a Merry Happy Christmas. Merry Happy Christmas. Yeah, I'm going with that. And a Merry Happy New Year.
Are
To
you,
all.
are you going all? Are
Yippee-ki-yay!
you going all trading places on us? Oh, there we go. And there comes the takedown notice.
There it is. There it is. There's the lawsuit.
Hang on a second.
So, thank you guys. Have a great Christmas. Thank you, listeners. Have a great Christmas. Thank you, Santa, for...
Thank you, little baby Jesus.
Thank you, little baby Jesus. Thank you, John McClane. Thank you for listening to the Kneel Before Pod Christmas special. On behalf of all of us, I'd like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and all the best in the new year. We would be honoured if you would give us the gift of subscription on iTunes, YouTube, or any major podcasting app, and we will give you the gift of even more great content. We hope you'll join us on the next Kneel Before Pod.